Well, today, folks, we have to have a look back at a story that we all thought was gone to the past, and that's the story of this guy, Daniel Meredith Apeffian Jones, aka Dan from Welsh News Network. Now, if you're not familiar with him, I'll give you a brief rundown on who he is and how he came up on my radar. Well, Dan came on the scene a while back as a fellow YouTuber, and it took him a little bit of a while to grow. And let's just say he was trying to get those old clout drips off myself and other YouTubers. Now, from the get-go, I didn't like this guy. From the get-go, I knew he was a bit of a greasy type, but I never really had anything to go on. Over the period of time that he was on YouTube, and there's plenty of other videos out there showing, he made a lot of very interesting claims. He claimed to own a private jet. He claimed to live at a huge castle in North Wales. He claimed to own yachts and boats. And on top of that, and one of the worst parts of this is he is a serious stolen valor guy. He claimed to have served in the Royal Navy. He claimed to have been injured in action in Kosovo. I knew something wasn't right. But as I say, I had really nothing strong to go on. Then one day, my buddy Johnny O from the Plot Hole, all the way over in Texas, gave me a call. And it kind of went like, hey man, I got something to tell you. I was like, oh shit, here we go. This is going to be good. We both kind of thought something was weird because he had offered me money to fight him for charity in a boxing match. He had offered Johnny money for another project. He'd offered another person huge sums of money, and it never came to fruition. Now, whatever, that happens. People offer money and then they back out. No big deal. But this was a constant thing that kept happening, and we're talking huge sums of money. Please ignore the paint drop on my shirt. So anyway, Johnny did a bit of digging, and Johnny found out that this guy used to be an elected official that was never actually elected, because that was the first thing that surprised me, who would actually vote for this guy. But in any event, he got in a little bit of trouble. He started stealing from a local food bank, not stealing like, bread and butter, but stealing money from them. He got caught, got brought before the courts, pleaded guilty, and was convicted. He was given a suspended sentence for his troubles. And then we fast forward to him getting on YouTube. So he starts doing all of these kind of fundraisers for charities, and it was always very suspect because he refused to show any receipts for this. And then where it really got tricky was one particular charitable cause, shall we say, for a dog shelter that he refused to name or show any receipts of. Raised thousands of dollars over the last couple of years. I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars. So I decided to call him out on it, and I had a word with him, and he denied it point blank to my face. Now, he was getting away with this for quite a while. Nobody knew who he truly was because he claimed to be this kind of minor lord that lived in a big, beautiful castle in North Wales. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not that far from Wales. So Johnny O agreed with me, and he thought, you know what, man? I don't know anybody in Wales, but Americans, Ireland is basically the same thing. I was like, okay, there's a sea between us, but okay, I see where you're coming from. So I jumped on a plane, flew over to Manchester, and I met up with a guy called Shuggy. Now, Shuggy was somebody who used to appear on Dan's panel quite a bit. He was pretty blindsided by this whole thing too. And when I showed him all of the evidence, he was like, okay, Bog Trotter, let's do it. So we got on the plane, met him there, myself and the missus, and we drove down to North Wales. Nobody knew this was happening because we didn't want him to get tipped off. Now, in the intervening period, I had found his address. I had found basically everything about this guy. And when I started to do a bit of digging, I reached out to members of his family. Correction. Members of his family reached out to me. I had a fake Facebook account, put a post up on one of his local town thingy-majigs, asking if anybody knew this guy, and somebody contacted me. She's a really nice lady, and we spoke for a few hours, and she told me absolutely everything about the guy. She said that the closest thing he ever came to serving in the military was playing Call of Duty online. So then I spoke to his direct family members, his brothers and sisters, and they all told me that this is the kind of stuff he's done forever. This is why he's ostracized from his family. He even owes his brother 2 weeks' wages from years ago that he never paid. So I thought, okay, this is getting juicy. So anyway, fast forward even more. We get on the plane. We fly over there. We end up in this beautiful little town in Wales where this particular gentleman lives, even though in this video he claims not to live there. So I started having a chat with some of the locals, asking about the guy, but not going too far until the little boss, the missus, just walked straight up and said, do you know this guy? The reaction that we got straight away indicated to us that, oh, he's probably known for not being the best dude in the world. Because they were like, oh, yeah, I know him. Hey guys, how are you? Oh, we're just looking for Dan. Up this one or this one? No, if you go around the other door. And so we started chatting with all the locals, and we found out a lot of really interesting stuff. Now, I'll show you some of these videos. They'll be linked down below. You can go check it all out. There's kind of too much to cover. So anyway, we go and we knock on his door. The Jeep that he said he had is parked outside. Paperwork in the Jeep with his name on it. And then to top it all off, when he refused to answer the door and we couldn't absolutely confirm at that point that this was his home. An Amazon delivery guy turned up and confirmed that he had a package for Dan Jones. How you doing, mate? Who's that for? Yeah. Dan Jones, is it? Yeah. Oh, we think he's inside. He's not answering the door, though, sadly. So then after all that, I started talking to more of his immediate neighbours and asking them, you know, not putting anything in their mouths, just asking them to tell me about him. Straight away, they started to tell me something that somebody else in the village had told me earlier in the day, which is that he was involved in another scam, gathering money from elderly people in the community to provide them with meat. Turkey, ham, all that kind of stuff for Christmas. Did it ever come? No. So anyway, I have a phone call here between Dan and two other individuals, Witch of Heart and Mark the Sarcastic Law Student, where he goes into a little bit of detail. Now, I'm not going to cover the whole video. I will re-upload the live stream because I was doing something else that was kind of funny there. But I will upload that live stream for you guys to check out and listen to the whole call. This is kind of more of the stuff that I myself can directly respond to. So sit back, grab a fucking cup of coffee. It might take a little bit of time. And be prepared for the cringe. You were going to cringe so hard at how smug this man is.
What did you do when Shuggy and Irish showed up?
Who?
When Shuggy and Irish showed up at your place, what'd you do?
What? Shuggy turned up? I have no idea.
Shuggy and Irish showed up at your place after you disappeared.
They did?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
What you mean, feckin' who? Sexiest Irishman on YouTube. Some random sham from Scotland who doesn't know how to spell whiskey. And the little boss herself turn up at your door and you say who? You know full well we were there, Danny boy.
Well,
Coded is still jerking off to the fact that he thinks that he keeps saying that he was right about you and how he exposed you and this and that, which we know is not true. And even Shiz says that's not true. But he's still jerking off to the fact. And we still have to hear it over and over again.
Neither did Irish, but good luck with that.
Yeah, well, he's not been talking about Irish. He's been talking about you.
No, man, neither did Irish. Fucking, he got it wrong too.
Yes, but Irish is not the one that keeps going on and on saying how he exposed you. Coded is.
You just did it tonight. Literally a few hours ago. Along with polling his viewers whether she should come back and dox me again.
Dox you with what?
I don't know.
Like dox you how?
I have no idea.
How much more can you be fucking doxed at this point, dude?
Well, they could get it actually right, because they didn't. But, okay.
Didn't get what right?
They didn't actually turn up at mine.
Turn up at your house?
Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't even know about it.
Hmm?
You just told me you didn't even know about it.
Some bits. I didn't know about Shuggy.
Oh, so when I said about Irish and you just acted like you didn't even know about it. Now you're saying you knew about it, and it just showed up at the wrong house.
No, I didn't know Shuggy had anything to do with it.
Now you're backtracking, dude.
No. When you were mentioning about Irish and Shuggy, I assumed this was another time.
What feckin' other time? There was only one time. How many times have, again, the sexiest Irishman on YouTube, a kind of weird tweed waistcoat, non-whiskey spelling Scotsman, and a tiny tough little woman from Tipperary? How many times have they turned up at your door? Oh, you mean that other time I got exposed as a scammer live on the internet? You knew full well what she was talking about. The big long pause, the who? What are you, an owl?
Because I didn't know Shuggy had anything to do with it. Right up until you guys mentioned Shuggy being there, I had no idea. As far as I knew, there were only two people involved.
Who?
Irish and, what's her name?
Chloe?
Yeah, that's it.
No, Shaggy was there too. But they showed up to the wrong place. That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, off the top of my head, those are some of the main ones that were mistreated as a result.
Yeah.
Mistreated by whom?
Anybody and everybody.
Anybody and everybody.
Some people we never even heard of.
Right.
What?
Look, I just got attacked the other day in another fucking Discord that has nothing to do with this. Because everybody thought that because we're friends, I knew what was going on. And I had no fucking idea. They thought, oh, you supported this. I'm like, no, I had no fucking clue.
It's the same thing I got.
Hey, who?
Oh, some random dude in another Discord.
You should have told me.
And then blaming me because we were friends. Like, well, you were friends with him, you must have known. No! I had no fucking idea. Like, you know how many times we keep getting asked, where's Dan? Where's Dan? Where's Dan? I don't know. Nobody knew. But anybody who was associated with you were basically chastised. Because we were associated with you, we automatically knew what was going on.
There were plenty of people who could have rung us up.
How?
There's like 10 or 12 people who have my phone number.
And nobody called you.
Nope.
Like, look at this whole list of stuff down here in this message. And it's all by the panel members, all behalf of the panel members by Phil. All your panel members, including Phil, like, I'm trying to see how I can word this.
They wanted answers and didn't get them.
Right. So, it couldn't have been you saying that you were going to take a break for a while and everybody's like, okay, we'll see you later. No.
They'd already left by this point. They'd left by this point.
What, when you said you were going on your break?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think they had much choice. I mean,
they'd left by that point. They'd left before they sent this message.
Why do you think they did that?
Read how it starts.
So why do you think they did? Did they give you an explanation on why they left?
They were upset about the stuff with Irish. That was it.
Right, just the random stuff with Irish.
No, they were upset with what he'd said. They'd upset with the allegations he made, and they decided that because I'd already been told not to comment on it, they were leaving.
Did you tell them that you couldn't comment on it?
Yes. They were all backstage with me before I went on and made the live reading out the statement. They'd all seen the statement before I did the live.
So if they did, then why go through all of this?
I have no idea.
Bro.
But they'd all been told.
All been told what? That you couldn't talk about it? So if they had already known that you couldn't talk about it, why still go through all of this? Knowing that you couldn't talk about it. Why would they still write all of this?
You'd have to ask them.
Dude, come on.
They sent that message on the 14th.
Yeah.
I'd already told them on the 9th.
I really doubt that after you had talked to them and you told them that you couldn't answer this, you couldn't talk about this or whatever, that they still would ask you questions, knowing that you couldn't talk about it. Like that makes no sense to me.
That's a conversation between me and Becca on the 9th. Oh look, there's the message from me on the 9th.
Okay, so that was to them.
They already knew on the 9th.
Is that the 9th of the 5th or 9th of the 6th? Sorry, I can't quite make
9th of the 5th. When did the live go out?
Oh, damn it.
Would have been about...
Because that was the same day that you sent Epiphany's what she needed.
The live went out on the 10th. No, sorry, the 9th. There was a Karen Reid that Jim did the day after.
Oh shit.
So everybody knew before that message.
So, okay, hold on. Let me look at this. So you weren't able to show documentation of your successful appeal. You are not able to show documentation of the successful appeal at the time, or a letter from your solicitor explaining why that can't be provided.
I could show the successful appeal.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, proof that the monies collected for charities after the Mission 22 campaign were in fact dispersed to those charities.
That's 18 months worth of stuff.
Okay. That's something at least.
Partially the total amounts collected. Yeah, I'd have to go back and literally count every super chat. Because I didn't keep the logs of them at the time.
Okay, so the dog shelter. Money will be received by you around May 22nd. Expect to receive documentation showing the monies received, the amount being paid to the rescue, and the name of the rescue no later than May 29th.
Said from the get-go I would not do that. From before we started the appeal.
So then why don't you just censor out the name of the shelter? Show the receipt, but censor out the name of the shelter.
What good does that do?
It'd be something at least.
No, because everyone will just claim it's fucking faked. It's pointless.
It's not my problem, dude. Alright.
I'm sticking with what I said at the time, what I said whilst we were doing the fundraiser, before we started the fundraiser. We said it live on air. We told everybody repeatedly over and over and over all the way through the fundraiser that we would not be giving that information out.
Then why are they still asking for it?
I've no fucking idea, but you can literally watch the lives from that fundraiser. We said this 1,001 times.
But these are the people who were on your panel. These are the people who were there. So why are they still asking for it if they were already there?
I have
do you understand how that does not make sense to me?
Do you understand how it doesn't make sense to me? Remember, you are talking about people who literally had no issues whatsoever until the day Irish did that live. And apparently Shuggy.
Well, Shuggy wasn't actually on the stream, but yeah, he was there. So, okay, the appeal. Did you say you're able to demonstrate that the appeal was successful?
Yes.
Are you able to do that with us now? Or?
Not unless I particularly want to go off and find the paperwork right now, no.
Do you remember which court it was with?
I do. And no, I'm not helping you. Because I'm just being an awkward sod.
Bro, you're feeling awkward now? Just wait.
Oh yeah, nobody had a problem until that terrible Irishman went and made that awful live about me. Had nothing to do with the fact that you were exposed as a scammer, would it? The fact that you had taken these people for tens of thousands of dollars over 18 months. Oh no, it's my fault. And he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those... What's that? How does that thing go? Hold on. And he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling Irishman. And like all the other people that helped me, I'm just the one that turned up.
If you want to know the bits that really don't make sense, try the fact that over a year ago, I appeared on Irish and talked about my conviction. 6 months before that, I appeared on Plot Hole and talked about the conviction.
I know all that. I know that. I know that this whole conviction thing was already talked about. I know. That's why I don't. That's one of the other things I didn't understand was how Coded thinks that this was all like fucking like news.
I very, very rarely had this man on my channel. In fact, I actively tried to avoid it as much as possible because frankly, I didn't like the guy. So no, he absolutely did not admit that on my live stream. And from what I'm aware, he also absolutely did not admit any of this on Johnny O's live stream.
But
I never hid it.
No, I get that. I get that part. It's when people give you money for anything, especially to charities, they want to make sure that it's going to the place that you tell them it's going to.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that except when it comes to the dog shelter, but that was made clear before people gave a penny. We literally told people, if you have an issue with this, do not give any money.
Okay. We'll have to find some.
And I'm looking forward to the day that I can no longer have to bite my tongue about certain bits.
So when do you think that's going to be? And is there and I mean, this is probably going to be a moot question, but so who exactly is telling you that you can't say anything?
NWP.
Say that for the American over here.
North Wales Police.
Okay. And
is there a particular reason that they said that, or?
Right.
Yes.
Is it because it's an ongoing case? Ongoing investigation?
Yes.
Okay.
Not into me.
Right. Okay. So an ongoing investigation that you are involved in but doesn't have to do with you directly.
I'm a witness, not a suspect.
Right. That's what I meant. I will relay as much as I can. Or as much as I can remember.
There is one you can relay if you want.
What's that?
It's something Mark knows already because we talked about it. Yeah, anyone who's got this idea, I'm going to come back and shit all over everybody. Yeah, no.
Well, I would hope not. You'd have no reason to.
Yeah, he did say that.
I have no interest in it. They were friends, and yeah, I know some of them have said some nasty shit about us. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm not getting involved in the mudslinging.
But you will definitely get involved with the mudslinging at you.
What's new?
Okay. Alright. Keep us posted. I will talk to y'all later.
Catch you later.
In a bit, yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't as angry as you said.
Yeah, no, I think she's learned from me.
Now, I'm not throwing shade on anybody for falling for a scammer. These guys are really, really good at what they do. He's incredibly manipulative, as you can tell by the way he talks throughout this call. And again, I will repost the full live stream so you guys can check that out. It'll be probably there before this video is uploaded, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But on the other hand, if this man told me it was raining outside, unless I went out and got my head wet, I wouldn't believe him. But now he's still, after all of this, denying all of it. Not only that, he's also still claiming that he was in the Navy for 12 years and then it was 14 years. Oh, he fought his way out of a prison in Kosovo, did he? This fella couldn't fight sleep. So in any event, I'm going to go back over to Wales. And this time, I'm going to be much more prepared. Now, I'm not going to even bother going near this guy's house, but I will be going and interviewing people. I will be walking down the street with a big-ass picture of him and asking people what interactions they've had with him. Now, if you'd like to support me in doing that, there'll be a link down below to my PayPal. I'd really appreciate it. It's only going to cost me a few $100, maybe $300-400, euro, pounds, whatever. Fly out there, get a spin down there and do what I gotta do. I'll be there for maybe a day, maybe two, depends on what kind of interviews I can line up. I've had people from his school contact me after seeing this. I've had people, ex-girlfriends, family, everybody. You could have just come out and admitted to what you had done and made it right, but you didn't. Instead, you doubled and tripled down. You lied about me, you lied about Shuggy, you lied about other people, and you expect us not to come out there and make that right. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. Lads and lassies, thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this. I'm sure it was hurtful for some people, but make sure and smash that like button and we'll catch you in the next one. I suppose I better put this back on now that I'm heading back across the sea to Wales. Slán Siobhag, Mila Margaret.